Found a hidden phone in my wife's car, and it changed everything 3 months ago. I thought I had the perfect life. I was 32 years old, happily married, and living in a quiet neighborhood with my wife, Sarah. We had been together for 8 years, married for 5, and I never had a reason to doubt her. At least, that's what I believed. One Saturday morning, Sarah told me she was going shopping with one of her friends. Nothing unusual. She left around 10 in the morning and said she'd be back before dinner. A few hours later, I decided to wash her car because it was covered in dust. While cleaning under the driver's seat, I noticed something strange. There was a phone. Not her phone. A completely different phone. At first, I thought maybe it belonged to one of her friends. But when I picked it up, I realized it was turned on. My heart started beating faster. I knew I shouldn't look through it. But curiosity got the better of me. The phone wasn't locked. The first thing I saw was a messaging app. There were dozens of conversations. Most of them were with a contact saved as M. I opened the chat. The first message I read made my stomach drop. "I miss you already." My hand started shaking. I kept scrolling. There were hundreds of messages. Photos. Voice notes. Plans for weekends. Romantic conversations. Things a married woman should never be saying to another man. I felt like the ground disappeared beneath my feet. For a few minutes, I just sat there in silence. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. The messages went back almost 2 years. 2 years. While I was working late. While I was saving money for our future. While I was planning vacations and anniversaries. She was living a completely different life. I wanted to call her immediately. I wanted answers. But something told me to stay calm. So I put the phone back exactly where I found it and acted normal. That evening, she came home smiling. She kissed me on the cheek and asked how my day was. I looked directly into her eyes. And she lied to me without hesitation. She told me she had spent the day shopping. Meanwhile, I knew she had spent part of the afternoon with another man. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying everything in my head. Every memory suddenly felt suspicious. Every business trip. Every late-night text. Every excuse. The next morning, I decided to investigate further. I wasn't proud of it. But I needed the truth. Over the next 2 weeks, I quietly collected evidence. I checked bank statements. Credit card transactions. Location history. Old photos. And every day I discovered something new. The affair wasn't casual. It was serious. She had rented hotel rooms. Bought expensive gifts. Even talked about moving away with him someday. What hurt the most wasn't the cheating. It was the fact that she had been planning a future without me while pretending everything was fine. One evening, I finally decided to meet the man. Using information from the phone, I found out where he worked. I drove there during lunch. I expected him to be some kind of villain. Instead, he looked completely normal. When I introduced myself, his face turned white. He knew exactly who I was. I asked him one simple question. Does she ever talk about her husband? He looked down at the ground. Then he said something I will never forget. I thought you were divorced. I froze. What? He explained that Sarah had told him we had separated over a year ago. She claimed we were only living together temporarily because of financial reasons. He believed her. The guy wasn't the enemy. He had been lied to as well. For the next hour, we compared stories. And everything became even worse. She had been telling each of us completely different versions of reality. Neither of us knew the full truth. When I got home that evening, I was strangely calm. The anger had disappeared. All that remained was clarity. I knew exactly what I needed to do. The following weekend, Sarah invited both our families over for dinner. Parents, brothers, sisters, everyone. She wanted a big family gathering. And I agreed. During dinner, everyone laughed and talked while pretending life was perfect. Then came dessert. I stood up and tapped my glass. Everyone looked at me. I said I wanted to make a small speech. Sarah smiled. She thought I was going to say something romantic. Instead, I connected my laptop to the TV. The room became silent. One by one, screenshots appeared on the screen. Messages, photos, hotel reservations, bank transactions. Everything. Nobody said a word. Sarah's face lost all color. Her mother started crying. Her father looked completely shocked. I didn't yell. I didn't insult her. I simply presented the truth. Then I closed the laptop, picked up my car keys, and walked out. That was the last day we lived together. The divorce process took several months. It wasn't easy. Some days were terrible. But eventually, life started getting better. A year later, I bought my own house, started a new job, made new friends. And most importantly, I learned something valuable. Sometimes the worst day of your life becomes the beginning of something better. As for Sarah, the relationship with the other guy didn't last. It ended only a few months later. And according to mutual friends, she still talks about how much she regrets everything. But by then, it didn't matter anymore. Because the day I found that hidden phone under the car seat was the day I finally found the truth.